Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Oak Life Show, episode 82. We took a little hiatus during the summer because it was the summer, but now we are back. And Coach Liz has a special interview for you, helping you, mothers and fathers, help your kids pack your lunches. Enjoy.
Hi everybody, Coach Liz here from Oak Strength, and I am here with Reed Lane, and we are going to kind of show you a little bit about how to pack some good, nutritious lunches. As school is back in session now, it can seem really overwhelming, but Reed is going to go ahead and pack his own lunch. So just to kind of show you, your kids can learn how to make those nice, well-balanced meals. We've already kind of separated everything out a little bit because ideally, when it comes to packing a lunch, you want things to be laid out in a protein, carb, and fat ratio. So to give you examples of some of them, we've got a few laid out. Here is our carb pile. So anything like fruits and vegetables, we have some sweet potatoes, we have little clementines, we have some nice organic white bread, we've got melon, pickles, basically anything like that. It's gonna be that carbohydrate pile. Right here in the middle, we have our fat pile. So almonds, we have a trail mix that is comprised of nuts, seeds, and a few raisins. So one thing I do want to caution against on this does count as fat. A lot of our trail mixes out there are going to be heavy on those like chocolates or those yogurt covered raisins. So be cautious and be wary of those, as well as be aware of the amount that you're putting in there. If you check the back, almost every single trail mix, a serving size is a 1/4 cup. A lot of times we tend to go a little bit overboard on that, so just make sure that we're not overdoing it, and make sure you're picking those trail mixes, if you do pick them, that are going to be a little bit healthier in options in terms of what is actually going into those. Same thing with the almonds, watch your portion sizes. Here we also have some grass-fed cheddar cheese, we have some summer sausage, and we also have black olives, green olives as well, because Reed loves black olives.
Liz, why is the summer sausage in the fat pile?
Glad you asked, Adam. So, another thing to watch, and I know we talked a little bit about it when Ryan and I went grocery shopping, but you have to be careful. A lot of times people think, oh, meat, it's protein, or cheese, it's protein. But you want to watch that fat content. As you can see on the back of the summer sausage here, per a serving, total grams of fat is 17, total grams of protein is 10. So rather than it being a solid protein source, it is a lot higher in fat compared to other leaner proteins, and you'd want to classify that more in that fat category. Last but most importantly, we have our protein pile. So here we've got some nice freshly sliced deli meats. We have some eggs. Just to give you an example, if you want to scramble them, you can scramble them. If you want to make some hard-boiled eggs, if your kids like those are fantastic as well. We have some tuna or canned chicken if you want. One thing to watch again on that is if you're going to make tuna salad out of it and add that little bit of mayo in there, the mayo is going to be your fat source. We also have some chicken breasts right here, so if you want to pre-make them. If you have leftovers from dinner, if you made like a leaner steak or turkey burgers, chicken, anything like that, that's a fantastic thing to throw into the next day's lunch as well. But just making sure then that you are balanced between all your different portion sizes. So making sure that you have that protein source in your lunch, making sure there's a fat source in there that is going to be the smallest of the three, and then making sure that you get those good carbohydrates in there as well. Couple more tips and tricks before we come back to Reed at the end of this video and see the final preparation of the meal. Just to kind of make things easier, find some containers very similar to this, where they're going to be that's a little bit more than a 1/4 cup. But, find some containers that are a little bit easier to use. So ones like this, where you have all 3 compartments in one, it's a lot less hassle on you when it comes to washing dishes, as opposed to having all of those odds and ends containers. And then also look out for a water bottle. Find a reusable water bottle to pack in your children's lunch so that you can get water in there. One very common thing is parents want to throw in those juice boxes. You have to be careful of those because a lot of times it's just a ton of added sugar that is not necessary, and is all that's going to do is throw everything else off. Sugar isn't necessarily the enemy, but we want to avoid as much added sugar as possible, which, going back to our carb pile, is why we have so many fruits and vegetables in there, because all the sugars that we're getting from those are those natural sugars that are also in there with fiber. We're just a lot better for you overall.
Alright, so while Reed finishes packing up his lunch, we'll be back.
All right, guys, we are back. Reed has finished packing his lunch, so now he is going to walk us through what he packed and what each of those things are. All right, tell us a little bit more.
Sunflower seeds. Whatever these nuts are. Almonds. Peanuts and raisins are all in the trail mix we put in it. And in this section, we put black olives, carrots, sugar snap peas, and grapes.
What's in the big section?
A sandwich, and we put ham and cheese in it, so it's a ham and cheese sandwich.
All right. So breaking it down a little bit more, guys, over here we kind of have our, as you can see, our smaller portion of the trail mix, so that's where our fat's coming from. Also a little bit from the olives as well. Then our carbohydrates, we have our grapes, we have our sugar snap peas and carrots, and then also our bread. And then for our protein, we've got that provolone cheese and a little bit of ham in there as well. Although that provolone cheese is that fat and protein source, that's going to be our protein source for this meal. What else do we need to pack? What do you got right next to you?
Water.
Water. Remember, guys, pack them with plenty of water. Stay hydrated too, because if you're drinking enough water, it'll help you from getting like wanting more snacks as well. I know personally for me, and I know for a lot of kids as well, and when I was still in school, the more water you drink, the less odds cravings that you end up having because you're actually full. When you're thirsty, sometimes your body thinks it needs food instead. Make sure you're packing those good waters. Even like a little bit of Crystal Light isn't the worst thing in the world if you want to do that instead of a juice box. But just making sure we're keeping it good, keeping it healthy.
Reedy, you want to finish packing your lunch?
You ready to go to school? Go to school. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Bye, guys.